everybody, it's Miss Julie from GATS. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy and managing to make the best of this very strange situation we're all in. I wanted to make this video about using visuals. I know at every IEP meeting you guys have been to, every IEP meeting I've been to, we talk a lot about using visuals in preschool for our preschool age kids for a lot of reasons. We like to give them some structure. We like to give them predictability. I know that in this kind of situation where we don't have a normal routine, structure can be really important and help people feel more comfortable. Even myself, I realized recently that even though I was doing work, I was doing all the things that I normally do. I wasn't doing them at the same times that I usually do them. I was, for instance, showering at 10 in the morning, or maybe at 3:30 in the afternoon, or maybe at bedtime. And I just realized that I needed to impose some structure for myself. And so now I'm getting up at the normal time that I used to, take a shower, eat breakfast, and go into my little office, and just as if I were going to work. And our preschoolers really need some structure too. When we first found out that we weren't going to be coming back after spring break, I'm sure that a lot of people just kind of let the day unfold day after day. But now that we know that schools are not going to be reopening for the rest of this school year, it might become more important for your kiddos to have some structure in your day. The other thing that visuals are very important for is predictability. Every day at school, we have a visual schedule, shows what we're going to be doing, and we talk about what we're going to be doing. So there's a picture that shows the playground. Every time they're at circle time, they see the picture of the playground. They know that's where we just came from. That's what we do first every day. They see the picture of circle time. Oh, that's where we are right now. They see the picture that comes next. In some classes it's snack time, in some classes it is center time. But they know that's what's coming because we do it every day and we talk about it every day. If they forget what's coming next, or if they're having difficulty kind of understanding what's coming next, we might go right back over to that visual schedule and show it to them. We do visuals for a lot of reasons. One is just their age, their developmental stage. Even the kids with no delays are 3 years old, 4 years old. Some of them have turned 5. But it's difficult for them to hold ideas and hold abstract things in their brains. They're just not ready for that. I can remember that I have a meeting this afternoon at 4 o'clock, but at this age, they're not able to do that. The visual really helps all kids with those kinds of things. The other things are the language delays that a lot of our kids have. They may not understand the language that you're using to talk to them about what's happening and why it's happening and what's going to come next. Visuals kind of give them a support for understanding. And then, of course, a lot of our kids have expressive language delays as well, so they have a difficult time expressing what their needs are or their feelings. And finally, I think this is really important and really helps with the day-to-day management. When you have a visual schedule, for instance, it kind of takes the onus off you. It makes the schedule, it puts the schedule in charge, and you don't have to be the bad guy and say, no, I said it's time to stop playing. You can point to the schedule and say, the schedule says it's time for this now. So that can really help, especially if you're cooped up together all the time. You might want to get that relief of not being the bad guy all the time. So I have some examples for you of how you can use visuals at home. I don't have access to the things that we usually use at school, but that's okay because neither do you. So I tried to use some things that you might have available to you. First thing I want to show you is a little chart that I made when my child was 3 years old. This child is now 20, but this worked really well. He just had a hard time getting ready for school. And so here we have washing his hands, washing his face, brushing his teeth, and there he is when he's all done. So when I told him it was time to get ready for school, sometimes he didn't know what to do or would do some of it, but not all of it. If you wanted to make one of these, you can take a picture of your child doing these things. That's what I did. And this one is laminated. You wouldn't have to do that. You can make the pictures movable so they can take a picture and say, move it to a spot that indicates they're done with that part of it. Or you could do something like this and take a white dry erase marker and put an X over it. I'm done with that. You know, let the child somehow indicate that he has completed this. And then the next one, the next one, the next one, and then you can see visually again that that it's finished and they've completed all the things they need to do. When they're not going to school, might be even more important. It might be hard to remember that they need to, you know, brush their teeth every day when they're not getting up and leaving the house. It's not part of getting ready to go somewhere. So that's one idea. Next one I made is a family schedule. The first one here is breakfast, school time, play outside, snack, reading time. And these are just suggestions. You can make it as detailed or as general as works for you and for your kids. It may be that you only need to have, morning, afternoon, evening. Maybe that's all your kids require. Maybe they need more detailed activities listed. And these pictures just came from newspapers and magazines. School time, that's what I called it. You might want to just use that parent resources folder that has been shared with you from Getz, and pick a few activities to do. Maybe just do one thing every day, or maybe pick 2 things that you could do every day, or pick, it's up to you. As we've all been saying, this is a difficult time. We don't expect you to spend all day teaching your kids. We know that you have other obligations, and we want you to do what works for you and for your kids. So make it work for you. Do as much or as little as seems reasonable for your family. I used a legal pad. This is just, you can see that, like a yellow pad. This is the back, and I used it because it's stiff, and you can put your items on here for your schedule. If you want to change them, make it so that you can take these off. I just used tape on this, but you can use other materials that make it easier to change things out. For that, I used pictures from magazines and newspapers. You can print pictures from the internet. You can, again, take pictures of your own child doing the things that you want them to do, and cut them out and put them on. You're also encouraged to let your kids help with these things. If they have participation in making them, they will have more buy-in in using them. Here's another one. I just took a file folder. Notes for myself. This one is a chore chart. I didn't have very many pictures, but I had some ideas that you might want to choose for chores. Make your bed, pick up toys, wipe the table, feed the dog, those kinds of things that are simple and that your child is able to accomplish. I put these up here so that your child could choose which ones they want to do. I think that's important. You don't want to load them up with too many things. If they see that there's a lot of work to do, they might feel a little overwhelmed and resentful. Sometimes it helps to give them choices, the things that you know they can do and that you really want them to participate in and kind of be contributors to the household. Let them choose and put it up here. Maybe it's one chore. Maybe it's 4 chores. Maybe it's a chore for the whole week. Maybe it's something they choose differently every day. It's up to you. But just having the pictures and the visual and the place for it helps them kind of organize their thinking and understand what's expected of them. One more thing. Some families find that having some incentives helps with getting cooperation from their kids. And so I just made a little chart that says, I am working for video game time. Computer, I didn't have pictures for these. Tablet time, computer time, time on mom's phone, that kind of thing. Maybe something unusual, something that not every child would be wanting to work for, but maybe calling grandma is a treat for them and something they would want to be working towards. It could be, just individualized for your child and help and ask them to help you figure out what they would want to work for. If this is something you wanted to do. Again, if you're able to take the picture and move it up here, the options are all things that you're willing to agree to, but they get to choose the one thing that they are wanting to work for. And just keep in mind that what's motivating for your child might, for one of your kids might not be motivating for the other kids. You might have to have lots of options and maybe have a chart for each one. Just an idea that might help your family use some visuals to get some things done. I also wanted to mention that I had used, this was a divider. So you can see it's a divider that goes into a notebook, like a 3-ring notebook. So you can use just about anything to put these materials on, to put these visuals on. You could use a whiteboard, obviously, a chalkboard if you have one. You could put them on the refrigerator, use magnets to indicate what things are done and what things still need to be done. You can use construction paper, make a schedule for your family, or make a chart with construction paper, file folders, all kinds of things. I also have this little white binder. It's an empty binder. You could have a schedule here, and I'm working for on this side. You can use these dividers and have multiple activities or schedules, maybe one for each child inside these sheet protectors. So you can just put the paper inside here. If you only wanted to use this, you can use it without the sheet protectors inside and just use this side for one chart, this side for one chart, or potentially 4 sides. You can use the front and the back too. So I hope that gives you some ideas. If you have questions or you have ideas and you're not sure how to work them out, you're welcome to contact your child's teacher. You can also contact me if you'd like. My email address is julie.wilson@tempeschools.org. And I hope you all are doing well, and we'll see you soon, I hope.